Yo, what's up, folks? Glad to have you all tuning in from around the world. If you're new here, welcome to the fam. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Applause.
It all kicks off with one command, just a flash of data sent through encrypted channels. It's the go time signal from the top brass, and just like that, the calm of the sea vanishes. The Navy's ability to project air power from aircraft carriers rests on the shoulders of some of the best military aviators out there, carrier-based fighter pilots.
These men and women, along with their ground crews, work under insanely fast-paced and high-pressure conditions where even the tiniest mistake can be deadly. But when it's go time, whether it's a drill, combat mission, or just a flex of muscle, they're expected to launch wave after wave of strike fighters into the sky within minutes.
So, how fast can they actually do it? How quick can the Navy launch every jet off a single aircraft carrier? Let's break it down. It starts on the deck of a nuclear-powered supercarrier like the USS Gerald R. Ford, or one of its older Nimitz-class sisters. These beasts are basically floating airports, massive mobile platforms built to launch, land, refuel, rearm and relaunch fighter jets under any conditions, day or night, war or peace.
When a carrier goes on full alert, its deck becomes a buzzing hive of non-stop action. At full load, a carrier can carry around 65 to 75 aircraft. Most of those are fighters, mainly FA-18E and FA-18F Super Hornets, EA-18G Growlers for electronic warfare, and the newer F-35C Lightning D-shoes for stealth strikes.
To get these birds off the deck, the Navy uses arresting gear, catapults, deck crews, and a launch cycle that's been fine-tuned over decades. On the USS Ford, things have gone up a notch. The old steam catapults have been replaced by an electromagnetic launch system, or EMALS. That upgrade means faster resets, smoother launches, and better control over thrust, which equals quicker takeoffs, less wear and tear, and more reliability overall.
And in wartime, every second counts. This system shaves off valuable time with every single launch. Picture the flight deck like a turbocharged chessboard. Every second matters.
Deck crew in brightly coloured shirts are everywhere. Yellow shirts guide the jets into place. Red shirts handle weapons. Green shirts run the catapults and gear. Purple shirts pump the fuel. Blue shirts tow aircraft around. It looks like chaos, but it's choreographed chaos. A ballet of motion drilled into them again and again. In perfect conditions, one jet can take off every 30 to 45 seconds from each of the four catapults. So with good coordination, that's a launch every 15 to 20 seconds by alternating between catapults. In a max launch scenario, they push the tempo hard. Think about this. A Nimitz-class carrier can get 20 to 30 jets airborne in the first 15 minutes of a combat op. The Ford class, even better. Thanks to upgraded systems and a more efficient layout, the USS Gerald R. Ford is designed to support 25% more sorties per day than its older counterparts. In all-out war mode, it could potentially launch its entire air wing in under an hour. The first combat-ready wave up and flying in less than 15 minutes. But launching jets isn't just about getting them airborne. Every plane needs to be fueled, armed, inspected and cleared for takeoff. Strike packages have to be carefully planned. Pilots get last-minute target info, rules of engagement and threat updates. Live ordnance, sometimes weighing hundreds of pounds, is loaded just feet away from spinning jet engines. It's an operation where timing, discipline and nerves of steel make all the difference. And that's where Navy flight deck crews shine. In high-alert scenarios like full combat launches or rapid deployment drills, jets are prepped in waves. The first batch, usually around 10 to 12 fighters, are already lined up and ready to roll. The jets are fueled up, armed to the teeth and parked either on the catapults or in the fast launch queue, ready to rip at a moment's notice. Waves 2 and 3? They're staged on deck and inside the hangars, going through final checks. It's like a well-oiled pipeline of readiness. As soon as the first wave takes off, deck crews clear the catapults and jump straight into launching the next batch. It's rinse and repeat, non-stop. Every plane launches in tight sequence, coordinated by the air boss up in the tower and the flight deck crew down below. Each jet gets its launch spot, flight path and mission profile, sometimes just minutes before it rockets off the deck. Now imagine there's zero warning. A surprise missile strike or some regional conflict pops off fast. The Navy's got to clear the deck, quick. That's what a fast launch protocol is for, getting as many fighters airborne as humanly possible ASAP. It's chaotic, it's loud, it's risky as hell, but it works. Thing is, the carrier doesn't try to launch everything at once. Instead, they get just enough jets up to handle the immediate threat, then follow up with wave after wave for offense or defense. And yeah, don't forget about night launches. Even in pitch black, under full blackout conditions, these carriers can run large-scale flight ops using night vision, infrared lights and stealthy coordination. The Navy runs 24/7, no breaks. Pilots land and launch from a deck that's basically invisible on a ship flying through open seas at 30 knots. The tempo might slow down a bit, but it never stops. In war, the enemy ain't waiting for sunrise. All this goes down while the carrier is still hauling ass, often maneuvering fast just to keep the wind lined up over the deck. There's no pause button. The ocean doesn't care if the deck's slick, the wind's howling, or the horizon's on fire. The jets have to launch, and they do, every single time. The stress on the crew? Off the charts. Flight deck crews are working in what's probably the most dangerous 4.5 acres on Earth. Between jet intakes, exhaust blasts, arresting cables, and live ordnance, one split-second mistake could mean disaster. Add in the pressure of a wartime alert, and the tension is cranked up to 11. As for the pilots, their adrenaline is through the roof. They strap into a multi-million-dollar jet surrounded by firepower, trusting their crew with their lives, and head into combat zones from a floating runway that never stops moving. From wheels up to wheels down, their survival depends on laser focus and split-second instincts. And they don't just fly out once, they come back, rearm, refuel, and launch again. In a fast-paced air campaign, a single carrier's fighters might fly multiple combat missions per day, depends on the scenario. It's exhausting, but unmatched. Now take those numbers and multiply them by how many carriers the US Navy can bring into the fight. America's got 11 active carriers, with usually 4 or 5 ready to deploy depending on readiness and the global situation. If even 2 or 3 carriers operate together, which is rare but possible, they can launch over 150 fighter jets in coordinated waves within an hour. That's not just air superiority, that's total dominance. Exercises like RIMPAC or Joint Task Force drills put all this to the test in full-on war simulations. Navy pilots go through brutal tempo training, launch, land, repeat, 24/7. The goal isn't just combat readiness, it's sending a clear message to both allies and adversaries. The US Navy can keep air operations going indefinitely at massive scale with zero warning. And in real-world combat, these skills have already proven themselves. In Desert Storm, US carriers flew over 100 sorties a day for weeks. In Operation Iraqi Freedom, Super Hornets and Hornets flew night after night, striking deep into enemy territory. In those moments, carrier decks became the beating heart of the American war machine. Now, with new tech entering the fleet, like the MQ-25 Stingray drone tanker and next-gen logistics systems, the Navy's gearing up to go even faster. Unmanned systems will boost fighter range and endurance. Data links will deliver faster targeting updates. The new EOS launch system will let smaller teams launch heavier aircraft with pinpoint precision. So, how fast can the Navy launch all its fighters? At full tilt, a carrier can blast off its first 20 to 30 strike jets in under 15 minutes. The rest follow in waves, with the whole air wing airborne in under an hour. Sometimes in 45 minutes or less, depending on conditions and mission tempo. Now throw in multiple carriers, those numbers go way up, turning the sky into a battlefield owned by American air power. But here's the real answer. It's not just about speed, it's about readiness. The US Navy built a system where big, fast jets are always locked, loaded, and good to go. Jet launches, that's just another day on the job. These crews train, drill, and perfect this stuff for decades, so when the moment comes, when it's real, when the stakes are life or death, there's no hesitation, there's just action. In minutes, a sleeping giant wakes up. Calm seas turn into full-blown battle mode. The shift is insane. One after another, fighter jets scream off the deck, locking into formation like clockwork. The sky becomes a weapon, and the enemy learns real quick what true air dominance looks like. That's how the Navy launches its fighters, fast, not someday, not in theory, right now. All it takes is the order, and the roar of jet engines follows. So what's the future of naval warfare really look like? We've got those answers, and a whole lot more, coming up in our next videos. If you're ready to dive deeper into the world of military tech and strategy, don't miss what's next. Let's keep moving forward, because the mission, it never stops. Click now and stay locked in. Thanks a ton for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications.
Here at S News, we're all about keeping it honest, sharp, and straight up. Catch you in the next video. Stay safe.